Yo, what's up, ladies? So today we're going to be talking about 5 mistakes that women make that shut men down emotionally. Lately, I've been talking about a lot of mistakes that women make. But these, again, look, this is my philosophy on attraction and on teaching women attraction and people in general. It's one thing for me to teach women how to get the guy, how to get him attracted, right? And that's fine. But that doesn't have as much as effect as suppose if I teach you women how to avoid the mistakes that makes men lose attraction. Like, it's much better to learn how to be yourself than to enhance yourself. It's better to learn how to avoid the mistakes that make you guys lose a guy, as opposed to learn how to learn how to do things to make the guy like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's better to prevent a disease than having to heal it per se. So it's much better to do that because then it helps you avoid a lot of the problems you're going to face in the future. It's one thing for me to teach you how to get the guy, but then you're going to keep repeating the mistakes that's making you guys lose the guy. So in reality, you're fighting against a force that's much harder to fight against. So work on avoiding these mistakes, and once you're able to avoid these mistakes, then master the fundamentals of making the guy attracted. Because it's an uphill battle when you're like learning how to get the guy attracted, but at the same time displaying emotions of neediness. You know, it's kind of like having BO and putting deodorant away and not taking a shower. Like, people gonna smell that. It's a lot better to take a shower first, which is stop making the mistakes, and then put on deodorant, which is learning the tactics. It's gonna work so much better. All right. So let's get started. So the first one is this. Saying that you're not talking to other guys, making sure that the guys know that you're for him, you're gonna be with him forever. Now, look, initially during the beginning of the relationship, it's always good to tell them that you're talking, just chatting with other guys, not having sex with them, just talking. You see, a lot of the times when you like a guy, the one emotion that women try to give the guy is certainty. That's what people think that gets a guy attracted, certainty. But when something is certain, it's predictable. When something's predictable, it's boring. You see, people like sports, not because they're good, but because it's unpredictable. Like, it's one thing watching a rerun of a game, of a sport, and knowing the outcome of the game, but it's a totally different experience watching a game and not knowing the outcome and waiting to see the outcome. It becomes more exciting. There's more intensity. You know, the air is full of intensity, you see. So when you let them know that you're talking to other guys and you're seeing which one is better, right? You're making him work. It's kind of like when you're going to buy a house. If you let the people know that there's other people who want to buy the house and that you're competing against other people, it makes the buyer want to work for it more. And above that, it makes the buyer appreciate the house once he gets it, because not only is it fun because he won the house and bought it, but because he knows that other people didn't get it. You see, it's more of the competition. Now, it is a little superficial, right? But at the same time, why wouldn't you use this? You see, why would you not use such a good opportunity to make him more attractive? You see, so if you are talking to other guys, as when you're beginning to talk to him and date him, don't hide the fact when he asks you, are you seeing other guys? Don't hide that fact, all right? Just make it casual. Say, yeah, I'm just seeing what happens, all right? Number 2, having high expectations from the guy too early. For example, it's one thing to when you start talking to the guy, right, and wanting him to text you often, right? But it's another thing to demand it from him. Hey, why didn't you text me? All capitals. Why didn't you text me? Where's my good morning text? I said hi, damn it. Who's the bitch? I love saying who's the bitch. But do women say that often? Who's the bitch? Oh man, yo, I love the who's the bitch soundbite. But yeah, like it's one thing. Look, when a guy feels like, goddamn, I gotta text this girl because she's gonna get mad at me, that's not a good place to be in. It's kind of like calling, right? My mom used to call me every single fucking day, right? And so because of that, when I used to try to call, I'm like, goddamn, I gotta call her now, or else she's gonna be mad. Like, you don't want that place, okay? It's okay if you're the mom, okay? But you're not his mom, okay? You may call your mommy, okay? You may be mommy to him, right? But you're not the mom, right? So essentially, what you have to do then is to what was I saying? Demanding him, right? So essentially, what you have to do is not demand it from him. Like, if you feel like, hey, why haven't you texted me? Don't give into that. Like, just relax. Notice the emotion of wanting him of you wanting him to text you, and just relax into it. You know, breathe into the emotion. Notice how that feels, right? Because if you don't do that, then you're going to push him away. It may have worked, but because you weren't patient enough, it's not going to work now. You see, and because you weren't patient enough, now you're gonna have to come back to me, and I'm gonna have to coach you for that. You see, by the way, I'm doing one-on-one coaching. You know, for those who don't know, one-on-one. Okay, you can just let me know. It's actually been very fun, but to be honest with you, for those who are interested in one-on-one coaching, you better do it now, because I'm raising the prices again. It seems some people don't care that the prices are high. You know, the reason why I put the prices high is because if the prices are low, that means more people are gonna come to me, and that means I'm not gonna be able to make videos. Like, nah, I don't want that. Like, I like coaching, but I like my videos a lot more. So, by the end of next month, I'm gonna have to raise them up more. And for those who are interested in the prices we have right now, check them out right now. All right. Anyways, so yeah, like, if you feel the urge for him to text you more, don't do it. All right. The less you demand, the more he's gonna ask himself, why isn't she demanding this from me? Because that's what most women do. And when you don't nag at him that often about how often you text him, he actually texts you more. You see, it's actually kind of the contrary of what tends to happen. Number 3, spending too much time together. Look, every single person, when they're in a relationship, you want to spend a lot of time together, right? It's obvious, you know. The issue is that a lot of the times when you love someone, going with the emotions that bring you together, it's gonna sabotage you. Like, the emotions that makes you want them, letting them guide you and dictate your behavior is going to sabotage you. So as a result, you have to do the opposite in the beginning. Even though the urge is there for you to want to spend a lot of time with him, you want to spend a little bit of time and then set a barrier. You see, it's kind of like you're leaving more to be wanted rather than eating your whole meal. Leave some for later on, you know, because when you spend too much time, familiarity breeds contempt, you know, and they get too used to you, and it's not enough time to create that bond that you want, you know. So what you got to do is take a step back and let them chase, you know, by not spending too much time in the beginning. Now, the time that is spent is good because you're restricting it. So even though it hurts, it's pleasurable in a way. It's a pain that feels good per se. But at the same time, if you're too guided by the emotions of wanting to be validated, you're going to go all in, and you're gonna get too addicted, and it's gonna backfire on you. And again, it's something that people don't notice because they're just too in love, and they don't notice themselves making that mistake. Number 4, expressing your emotions. It's the same thing. When you like someone, you want to express those emotions. You see, it's much better to express them physically, in terms of action, rather than expressing them verbally. You see, so if you love them, don't tell them. Let them interpret it. You see, let him interpret what's in your heart rather than letting him know instantly. You know, because when you make him interpret, when you make him actually have to ask his friends, when you make him have to go to sleep thinking about whether or not you love him, it's much better. Because in and of itself, he's fantasizing about you, you know? And a lot of women don't make that mistake because they're too emotional. You know, yeah, it's true. I mean, don't say no, right? They're too emotional. Like, they want his validation. You see, when you're too emotional, what happens? You talk, you open your mouth. You can't resist. That's why when you get angry, is when you tell the guy, well, you have a small dick. It's because you're emotional. You see, so you gotta learn how to hone in on your emotions and develop emotional intelligence through meditation. Number 5, wanting to change them. You see, that's the issue. It's kind of like moving into a house, and as soon as you move in, you want to change everything. And that will emotionally shut down the guy. That'll make him set his barrier. That'll make him feel defensive. You see, when you go into a relationship, you got to take him as it is. You know, it's kind of like somebody telling you, look, we're selling this. if you're gonna buy, you're gonna take it as you're not gonna change it. That's how it should be. But a lot of women, they see a guy and they think this is like he's like a car, a fixer-upper, you know, and that's gonna turn guys off. Like when I meet a woman and she wants to change me, I can easily tell she's just trying to change me, so I'll get defensive. So you gotta notice yourself wanting to change people because you think you know best, and that's not true. That's arrogant. You gotta let people be without wanting to change them, or else you're just gonna close them down and they're not gonna want to get close to you. So yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. It's number one, saying that you number one, the mistake that women make is hiding the fact that they're talking to other guys, having high expectations too early, spending too much time expressing your emotions too early, and wanting to change them. You know, avoid doing those mistakes, and you'll fuck up a lot less in relationships. Anyways, it's Alex from myvaggestion.org. If you guys want one-on-one coaching, let me know and subscribe. Good day.